Hello, my friends. It's Nick, the ASMR nerd, and today we're going to take a relaxing, soft-spoken look at some keycaps for a mechanical keyboard. The caps we're looking at today are a special set from drop.com. You might be familiar with Drop. They're a popular group buy website. They've got all kinds of mechanical keyboards and goodies like keycap sets, PCBs, kits, switches, the whole 9 yards. I've reviewed a handful of items from them before, including their control keyboard, which is one of my all-time favorite keyboards. So, needless to say, these guys know mechanical keyboards, and shout out, special thanks to Drop for supplying the keycaps we're looking at here today. So, these caps in this nondescript brown box are a set of retro-styled keycaps based on old Olivetti terminals. Olivetti was a company that traditionally made typewriters and eventually transitioned to making digital terminals. But they were renowned for having a very strong design sense. And this set is listed here as the Olivetti MT3. I believe it's been renamed to the Camillo MT3 now, but it's a retro-styled set based off classic Olivetti colorways. And in the MT3 profile, which is a very interesting retro-inspired profile, which I'll talk about a little more once we get this open and take a look at the keycaps. And then we're going to be putting the caps on this little guy right here. This is the N Pro 2, very popular 60% mechanical keyboard. And I think it's a good fit for these caps for a couple of reasons. One, as you'll see, the white case will match the colorway nicely. And two, it's got this roughly 5-degree angle built into the case, which, as we'll talk about, the MT3 profile was actually designed specifically to accommodate. So, without further ado, let's open up the Drop Camillo MT3 caps here and take a look at them. This isn't going to be a review in the conventional sense, like I often do. This is just going to be taking a look at the caps, popping them on a board, enjoying the aesthetics and the sounds. If I can figure out... if I had this the right way around with it. Okay, alright. I figured it out, guys. Believe it or not, this is actually the first set of keycaps that I've looked at from Drop, aside from caps that come on their boards. But I've never seen one of their aftermarket sets. So here we've got the alphas and some modifiers. Here we've got the numerics and a bunch of modifiers and function keys and such. And here we have a bunch more modifiers and some accent keys in this lovely blue. So let's start at the beginning. Let's start with the alphas. You know what? I'm gonna move these out of the way for now, just so they're not gonna cause problems. So they come packed in these just plastic trays with some bubble wrap. That's nice. Keeps them in place, keeps them protected. So, oh my goodness, these are so scooped. Wow. So the MT3 profile seems like the appropriate time to talk about what it is. The MT3 profile is a relatively new profile. It's been around for only a few years. And as far as I know, it's offered exclusively by Drop. It was designed in collaboration with renowned keycap designer Matto, and it was part of his quest to create a retro-themed keycap set that was more ergonomic than the ubiquitous SA profile, which you might be familiar with. I've reviewed boards with the SA set or profile caps, and I got the SA Vial Bloom caps that I put on my drop control some time ago in an upgrade video. I'll link that in case you're curious about that. They're a Pokemon themed set. They're gorgeous, beautifully colorful, really fun set. You can check that out at the link probably up there. But Matto and other members of the community felt that the SA profile, while it was, you know, appealingly retro, nice and tall, it's a very tall profile, they felt it could be better. And so they went, and by they I mean he, Matto, went and tried to design something that was a tall retro theme profile, but that was more ergonomic and maybe a little more aesthetic as well. And this is what he came up with, the MT3 profile. Now, there's a few features of this profile that really stand out. First, it is a very tall profile. If we pull out the F1 cap here, you'll see that it's this nice, tall, beautifully chunky profile. You will also notice that that it is very scooped. It's got these lovely scooped tops that really just let the finger rest, sort of cup the fingertip, just like that. It's got this spherical profile that is very reminiscent of SA, but it kind of tapers towards the top a bit, and it's not as sharp. And then when viewed from above, you get this lovely rounded look to the caps. And so ultimately this was inspired by old terminals and then adapted into a more modern sort of friendly format. We'll talk a bit more about the actual angle of the caps and the profile once we get them out and onto our N Pro 2, because there's some neat stuff there. But for now, I think we should just maybe start swapping some caps out. I will show you quickly before we get into that these particular MT3 caps, the Camillo set, are made of double shot ABS plastic. So they have a bit of a shine to them. And they're very, very thick. Holy cow. These are substantial in their solidity. The double shot, of course, means that there's two pieces of molded plastic fused together. So the external white part of the cap, and then the legend, which is formed from this blue internal plastic piece. So the colorway, this Camillo Olivetti inspired colorway, is blue legends on white caps, and then the gray modifiers, which we'll get a closer look at shortly. But these lovely gray modifiers again with the vivid blue legends, and then those accent caps in the blue with the white legends. So first things first, we're going to actually have to take the existing caps off the Pro 2. So let's do that. Let's do that. I've got my handy dandy keycap puller from Drop. This is from the control. Okay, it should put this one. And we're just gonna yank off one cap at a time. And you know what? We might as well replace them one cap at a time too. This is obviously a 60% board, so we're not going to use all the caps. But this set does come with coverage for a full size, as well as a bunch of sort of odd-sized modifiers for 96 key layouts, 75% layouts, that kind of stuff. I should say 96% layouts, pardon me, or 75% layouts. The Pro 2, for those wondering, comes equipped with Kale Box Brown tactile switches. Where is the escape key? That's what I want to know. Don't see it on here, but it's got to be around. Of course, it's in blue. Of course, it's over here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's something I find very therapeutic, just almost meditative, about working on mechanical keyboards, especially replacing keycaps and switches. You just kind of get into a pattern, you know, of a rhythm with it. So here is that gorgeous blue escape cap, lovely scoop top, double shot. So that's going to pop on right here. You can see right away how much taller this profile is than the OEM caps on the Pro 2 that come stock. These are just the stock keycaps on the AP2. It's a much taller profile with some other neat features as well that you'll see once we get all those caps on. Obviously, these are not shine-through keycaps. You have no doubt noticed this, so I won't be really able to take advantage of the shine-through, you know, RGB backlighting on the Pro 2, but that's not the end of the world. That's okay. It'll still look nice shining out behind the caps, around the caps. Okay, so our numbers are over here. Oops. One thing that this set, well, not the one thing, but one thing that this set won't have coverage for is blanking here, ortholinear boards. This set's not designed for ortho boards, although I think you can order an ortho version, I'm pretty sure. And you know, like ergo docs, you know, wouldn't be covered by this kit, but many other weirdo layouts probably are workable. Already sounding delightful. You can actually see just from this top view here, you can see that these MT3 caps are actually angled towards the typer's fingers, whereas you can see that the OEM caps are kind of angled up and away, like they face a slightly different direction, whereas these MT3 caps really do kind of angle forward, they curve forward. That's to make them easier to press closer to your fingertips when you're typing from this angle, therefore more ergonomic. The stock caps on the N Pro 2 are actually not bad for stock caps, not bad at all. But you can see there's just no comparison when it comes to the thickness of these things. Like, these are significantly thicker, even though, yeah, the N Pro 2's stock caps are no slouch for stock keycaps. They are also made of PBT, which is a different material than the ABS used here on the Camillo set. Some people do prefer, oops, just trying to shuffle these along here. Some people do prefer PBT. I tend to prefer the texture of PBT myself. It's a little bit rougher, less shiny than ABS typically, but ABS is often used for these retro themed sets. A lot of SA profile sets come with ABS rather than PBT. I'm not even sure why that is, truth be told, but regardless, they're both going to last literally forever. ABS might shine up a little more over time, but I think that's kind of the aesthetic that people are going for with a lot of retro sets anyway. I think of those old, you know, IBM Selectric keycaps. I thought maybe I could, well, I sort of can use that there. Yeah, like the old IBM Selectric caps, or old Olivetti terminals, probably. I bet you they were made with ABS. can hear right off the bat that the shape and material of the MT3 caps, the Camillo set here. Can you hear that? That's the wind outside. It's a windy night. It's kind of blizzardy night, actually. We've got a bit of snow. The shape and material does confer a different typing sound. Listen to the bottom out sound of the Camillo set versus the stock caps. There's a difference, right? I don't know the one necessarily sounds better than the other, just different. Just different. Beautiful, tall row 5 there. So much taller than the OEM caps. It's gorgeous though. I love the retro aesthetic. Okay, we gotta find backspace now. There it is. Big, chunky, scooped backspace. Come now. Having a hard time. There we go. The N Pro 2. Not that this is a review of the N Pro 2, but it comes with these nicely lubed stabilizers. So the key feel should be nice on those stabilized keys. A little bit of rattle, but not too bad. Not too bad. You can see the legends are in all caps on this set, further lending that retro vibe. And they're centered. Again, a very retro look. Very sharp as well. The double shot manufacturing here is really, really crisp. Very fine detail. Looks really good. All right, tab right here. So now we got some of those lovely gray modifiers on here. So you can see row 4 here, not as dramatically tall as row 5, but still taller than the OEM caps, and also, again, angled towards the typist. Alright, I think we can put this aside for the moment. Well, actually, instead of swapping back and forth constantly, let's just put our modifiers on right now. All our modifiers. So for caps lock, we have either the typical caps or a stepped caps lock key. I really like the aesthetic of the stepped cap because it looks very old school to me. But unfortunately, it requires a different switch location, basically. It's offset slightly. So unfortunately, we do have to use the typical. Something else I'll point out, no mold lines visible on the exterior of these caps. No attachment points or anything. They're really smooth, very slick. Nicely finished. Along the bottom edge, you get a little bit, but nothing visible, which is really nice. They definitely look and feel like quality. Okay. What else do we need here? We need some stuff from over here. These caps are spread across quite a few trays here, so this also obviously has ISO coverage. If you've got a European layout. Also, it looks like all these accent keys in blue are also available in the typical gray as well, if you want, if you prefer. Okay, what do we need here? We need a backslash. Where am I going to find that? Oh, actually, that was down on this one. And we need the enter or return key. We have a couple options for that here. We have the lovely blue or gray. It could go either way, but I like these nice blue accent caps, so let's get that on there. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, a right shift. It's going to be this one right here. Oops. Okay, now. Oftentimes, these spherical profile caps are a little tricky to remove from their trays because, they're kind of rounded and a bit slippery, especially the ones made of ABS like this. Okay, we have a variety of sizes for our other modifiers here. For right shift, or right control, pardon me, we're going to want this one right here. Try this again here. No, it really doesn't work. Occurs to me you actually can't see that right control very well. Maybe I'll move these off to the side. center this so you can see it a little better. How about that? How does that work for you? We're also going to need another one for our left control. Our Alt keys are up on the next line. In the tray here, I mean, not on the keyboard. I know you can't really see the tray right now. But there goes one. Maybe I can do this. I'd like for you to be able to see both, but don't have quite that much room here. In frame. There we go. Okay, so what are we going to do over here? We've got a function and a menu key. I think we've got some of those here. We do. We have a function and a menu in the 1.25 U size that we need here. Again, really excellent coverage. Oh, that should be function. I took menu. Here's function. Great coverage here for all kinds of layouts with 1U, Control, Alt, Function keys. There's that. And menu goes right here. Very nice. Over here, we've got a Windows key, obviously. See it there. We're going to replace that with a command key. So it looks like we don't have a specific Windows key on here, but that makes sense, right? That's for the retro aesthetic because Windows didn't exist when this style of cap, this profile of cap was commonplace. Okay, so now we're just missing our left shift. And we've got one of those right up here. There should be. Great. Okay. It's already looking really nice. But it's going to look even nicer. But now we can put our modifiers and other non-standard caps aside, and we can focus on just the alphas and the space bar. That's pretty much all we got left. So let's start replacing those alphas. Oops. Maybe this is the time to bring this back in frame like so. Here we go. You can see all of both now, pretty much. This is also a great time to point out just how scooped the tops on the MT3 profile caps are. I'll show you what I mean. So here we've got an OEM keycap, and you can see it's scooped side to side. It's got quite a scoop to it, but it's not scooped front to back. It's flat front to back. However, the MT3 cap is scooped side to side, and front to back. So it gives you this lovely little divot to guide your finger right into the center of the cap. It feels really good. You just kind of want to place your finger in it. I don't know, it feels inviting for the fingers. And of course, these are scooped, but the homing keys are even more scooped. Like you'll see when we get to J, just how scooped it is. And you're maybe also noticing, as I pointed out earlier, just how much these caps are angled towards the user compared to the OEM caps. They really are angled forward to make it easier to reach them, more ergonomically sound. Gotta remember to take out these caps before I pop in the next one, because it makes it a lot easier when there's more room for me to get my finger in there. You know what I'm gonna do, you guys? I'm gonna swap. Move that down there. Move this up here. What that does is it allows me to pick the keys out of here without having to reach across the whole frame. I should have done that in the beginning. I've been doing this for long enough, you'd think I'd sort of have this kind of thing down, but no. Because I still have to reach across to put the caps on. It honestly kind of 6 of one, half dozen of another. Doesn't make a big difference, but it just seems like I'm fumbling with these ones a lot more, so. Very nice. We do, of course, lose the secondary legends, because those are specific to this board, so the stock caps have those. But it's not a huge loss. Aesthetically, I think it looks better without them. It just means you have to, consult a reference if you haven't memorized them, I guess. So F is, of course, a homing key, and it is mega scooped. I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but when we get to J, I'll show you up close. The others are scooped, but the homing keys are like super scooped. Something quite peaceful about just swapping out keycaps while it's really stormy outside. You can hear the wind outside. Again, I don't know if you can, but I certainly can. It's kind of cozy. So, here is the J key, the homing key, and you can see just how deep the divot in that cap is. But it just cradles the fingertips so nicely. It just feels very appealing to use. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's really nice. There. So what kind of keycaps are you guys into? Feel free to let me know down in the comments. I think I put that. Some funky going on here with profiles. I don't know the right profile. Okay, there must be another. Oh, hold on a second. I think. Oops. I think it was just on upside down. Yep. That is that. I probably should have been able to figure that out quicker. Yeah, what kind of keycaps do you like? Maybe you've experimented with different profiles. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you have only ever used OEM or just the stock caps on your board. But if you do experiment with different profiles, different materials, I'd love to hear what you guys enjoy typing on the most. You can let me know down in the comments. Personally, I like PBT caps a lot. I like nice tall caps like SA profile a lot. So I'm very excited to actually try typing on these MT3 caps because they're kind of like SA, but better, or supposedly better. And I've never used them before, so that should be exciting. I only wish they were PBT, personally, but I do understand the choice of ABS plastic for that retro look. I do get that. are other MT3 caps sets available, which do come in PBT, I should say. Of keycap that I have yet to try, but I would really like to try, is the POM material caps. It's a semi-translucent, very kind of matte looking material that really diffuses light well, and they come in this, what they call sort of like, I think they call them jelly caps, but they look almost like jelly candies, you know, like a Turkish delight almost. And the whole keycap is semi-transparent and it diffuses the light. They look delightful, delectable, one might even say. But I have yet to try those out. Some palm jelly caps. Maybe I'll get some in at some point. Okay, my friends, we are almost done here. Everything except the space bar. And with the space bar, we actually have two choices. There is, I think, oh no, I lied. We have one choice. One slightly longer than the other. I thought we were going to have maybe two different profiles. One that's a little sharper and angled and one that's a little flatter, but no, I think we're going to go with this one. That's the one that's going to fit. So let's, getting space bars out is always a bit tricky. You're going to have to take these out. Just so I can get under it. Okay, I'm just going to do this by hand, I think. There we go. Here we have new space bar. In it goes, I think. It ought to, anyway. There we go. There we go. Very nice. Back on go our alt caps. We are done. Let's pop these in here. Let's move this aside. And let's take a moment to admire our handiwork. So, this is the completed N Pro 2 with the keycaps swapped for the Drop Camillo MT3 caps, inspired by classic Olivetti terminals of a more civilized age. So one other feature of the MT3 profile that I was going to show you guys here is that row 3, which is this one right here, row 3 is designed so that it's actually flat when sitting on a keyboard with this built-in angle. So we've got this, I don't know, 5 to 7 degrees of inclination built into the case on the N Pro 2, and many other 60% keyboards have that as well. But you'll notice that row 3, the surface basically sits parallel with the bottom of the keyboard, the case, which will of course sit flat on result is a very comfortable neutral row 3 with all these other caps kind of scooping, almost leaning in, curving in to accommodate your fingers and be easier to access than an OEM format, OEM profile. So we've got this nice flat, neutral center row 3, designed to work specifically with this kind of case that's inclined at this angle. And then I think aesthetically, this set really works with this case. We've got this white that of course matches very nicely from the case to the caps. There's not a whole lot else going on here. I guess we've got some red printing on the back here, which doesn't match so well, but shh. No one needs to know that, because no one's going to see it. But from the front, from the side, from every other angle, I think this board looks really stellar with these keycaps on. So that's it, my friends. That's really all I wanted to do here today, was show you those caps, put them on a board. If you're curious, I'm not gonna do a full typing test here, but I'll just do a little test just so you can hear them a bit more. The deep kind of thock that these ones make, because they're so tall and chunky. Yeah, those look and sound and feel awesome. So that is going to be that. Now, I might be getting some more caps from Drop on a semi-regular basis. There's a possibility that will happen, especially if you guys are interested to see more sets and hear more sets. So please do let me know if you'd like more of these, just what I consider kind of chill, casual keycap replacement videos where I just swap them out on a board I've got and you get to see them and hear them. Personally, I really love these kinds of videos because they're super chill for me. I just have fun swapping some caps. Like I said, it's quite zen for me. But you guys, let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see or hear more videos like this, and let me know what you think of these caps as well. I honestly think they look really, really good. But you don't have to take my word for it. You can go check them out yourself on drop.com if you like to do that, and maybe pick up a set of your own. I will of course put a link down in the video description where you can do that if you like. And of course, special thank you to Drop for sending these over. Again, this is not a review per se. It's also not really a sponsored video per se. They're not paying me to do this or say nice things about them. They just sent them over and said, hey, do a video with them if you like. And I do like. So we might see more like this in future if you guys are interested. Thank you very much for joining me here. I do hope you enjoyed this and found it nice and relaxing. And I look forward to having you back here next time. Bye for now, guys.